Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome to your monthly forecast. This is for the month of April, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this month is bringing for you. A lot of the signs, it's been really transformative, so I hope the same is true for you. Now, I begin every reading with some channeled information. I meditate on your sign before I begin, and I engage in some automatic writing, and the combination of the two yields a message. Now, for you, this message was to really take time this month and say how you feel to the people around you. This can both be an expression of love and also, for some of you, asserting your power or speaking your truth. This conversation or these conversations that you might decide to have could significantly change both your life and the lives of the people around you. And I believe all for the better, because you're either going to be speaking up or supporting the people around you. So please do take time to do that, and know that one small conversation can really change your whole life. This may be a decision for you to, go out and pitch a project and get a whole new career or a whole new job. Or it could be a moment where you just tell someone in your life that really needs to hear it, that you care about them and that you just want to check in on them. They may really be in need of that love and support. It could also be a moment where you've decided to stand firm and stand your ground. So whatever that moment and whatever that conversation is for you, don't hold back. Do it this month. Okay, let's now move on to the card portion of the reading. For this, I like to really take a look at 2 or 3 different parts here. I start off with the Celtic Cross, which is going to give you an overview for the month. I move along to a Catalyst card, which connects all of that, and then expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. All right, with that being said, let me turn the camera down. And at this point, I like to remain quiet so that I can observe the cards just like you. Let me give this a few good shuffles just to really make sure that I'm pulling in the energy for this month. And we'll begin now. Okay, ultimately some really great cards here. I want to look at the Catalyst first, though, and see how this is all going to be connecting together. Again, the Catalyst connects and also kicks off the action for the month. And we have the 6 of Swords here, and we have 2 of those that showed up. So I'm using different decks, obviously, but with the 6 of Swords, and I believe it was reversed when I pulled it up, and it's also reversed in this deck, there's a need for you to create some distance with people in your life, and also just, this is a chance for you to really separate your energy from others. And this is important if you've been involved in a lot of projects or experiences where perhaps you've lent a lot of your time and energy to others. So allow for this separation to be a time for you to regroup, for you to do soul searching. It's almost like sort of like a vision quest, or whatever you would see back in the Native American tribes, where you would go out to try to discover who you are. And so I want you to think of this month as just that. It's a quest where you're going to find out what makes you tick, what's important for you, and sometimes to do that, it's necessary to pull yourself away from all of the groups, the energies, especially those really, those intense or invasive energies around you. And after you do that, when you come back, just like you would in a vision quest, you will be changed. You'll be in a stronger place. Your central card this month is the Empress. This is really what you're trying to tap into, is that sense of empowerment, fertility, and this ability. When I say fertility, it's about bringing your dreams and ambitions to fruition. For some of you, it is a motherhood card, so it can be about creating a family. But for those of you that, like me, own your own business, an Emperor or Empress card will often come up, because you're basically almost, it's like you're the mother and the father and the parent, and you're creating all of this in your life. So I want you to have this ability to stand tall, be nurturing, and whatever it is you're trying to create, know that you can create it. With that being right at the center, that energy is available for you all month, and it's going to be there at the very beginning as well. On top of this, we have the Seven of Cups, which is a card that comes through when you're faced with options, opportunities. Sometimes this can be a little bit overwhelming when you're looking at everything that you can do. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed with the Seven of Cups, the general piece of advice that comes through with this is take your time. You don't have to rush to a decision on this. And I think that's why the Six of Swords that was reversed came through, which was pull yourself away from whatever it is that's distracting you, whether it's the noise around you or whether it's the opinions that might be also around you. Allow for your own energy, your own mind, your own thoughts to take form, and let that be what guides you and points your compass in the right direction. As I look at your deep past, it feels like last month was a little bit more emotionally heavy than I think this month will be. So this is actually a very good thing. And you're moving out of that sense of heaviness here. So this month there should be more available in the way of creative energy, because whenever I see Ace of Cups, and it's really nicely illustrated here, it's associated with your heart space and with passion and creativity. More of that's going to be available, and it's going to be easier to tap into that. And now as we're looking at the Six of Swords again here in the recent past, I feel like the reason we've got two of those cards that came through this month is it's almost the universe pushing you to be a little bit more concerned about yourself, your well-being. And through creating that space, listen, even just going out and taking a hike, going to the library, going and getting a coffee first thing in the morning and sitting down, reading the paper, writing something, whatever. These little things that create a sense of this is my time, my space, that's going to give you more energy to help everyone and everything in your life. Your crowning card is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is also in reverse. And because it's in the crowning position, this is allowing you, encouraging you, and pushing you to spend time on investing in your own life. Now, for me, the Eight of Pentacles always indicates this knowledge expansion or the skills expansion in your life. So for some of you, this could be getting a certification, going back to school, learning something just because you want to learn it. It can be as complicated as a foreign language or as fun as learning how to do pottery or something like that. Whatever you're deciding to do, know that you're supported and, again, kind of pushed and encouraged from the universe to do something that will help you feel more alive and also bring you joy and bring you this sense of accomplishment. This is a great card because whatever you invest in, it comes back to you in ways that you wouldn't even expect, but there is a reciprocity, an almost guaranteed reciprocity with the Eight of Pentacles. I was mentioning just doing a sort of frivolous or fun class. What can come from that is a connection with someone that you've met in the class that may later end up being someone that you love, someone that you end up working with, or a best friend. So take part in whatever this is that's going to enrich you, knowing that it's going to enrich you far past that certificate, that acknowledgement. Now, if we sort of bring this in to your field of money, this is about making sure that you continue to work hard and continue to invest. It's a savings card, but it's one where it shows me that you have more than enough to manage this month. So if you needed to make some sort of a purchase, you'd be able to. Just make sure that it's something that's necessary. But I feel like your finances are either moving towards a healthier place or they're already there. So that's something to be grateful for. We have, in the near future, the Emperor card. Now, with the Empress and Emperor card right next to each other, one at the center, one in the near future, this is showing me, from a personal and soul sort of expression and progression, that you're gradually getting stronger, because the Emperor card is one up in tarot, in the major arcana. So I feel like you're getting to a place where you're able to stand your ground and hold your space a little bit more. It's also in the receiving position. Sometimes reversals are about taking and receiving. And so at the beginning of the month, you're going to be in a place where you can give to others. Towards the middle and the end, I feel like it's going to be necessary for you to bring in all sorts of things, whether it's ask for what you need or listen more. The reversal of the Emperor for me is kind of taking that typical patriarchal and sort of almost controlling card and flipping it and becoming a little bit more understanding, empathetic, nurturing, and before speaking, listening to other people's points of view, I should say. And if they're a little shy or they're resistant to that, making sure that they're somehow being heard or encouraged to speak up. It's a gentle ruler. So you go from a place of assertiveness to openness and understanding and the sort of magnanimous leader. So really looking out for the will and the good of others as well. Now, the Three of Cups in reverse is a gentle hermit. So we have a gentle leader. Now we have sort of this hermit card where I do feel like it's absolutely appropriate for you to pull back this month from other people with the two Six of Swords cards that we saw. And so this is saying to not weigh as heavily on, or not have, I should say, other people's energy weigh as heavily on you as it has before, but also not depend, I think that was what I was trying to say, not have so much of a dependence on or a reliance on people's opinions this month. And especially if there's any sort of gossip or rumor mill that's happening, whether it's in your family or friend circle or work circle, just distancing yourself from that. With all of that being said, I do think you have a lot of opportunities to have fun this month. You should say yes to a couple, but you should say no as well. So follow your heart and only do what's necessary and what feels good. Now, as we look at your environment card this month, it's busy. We have the Five of Swords. This particular Five of Swords is more about focusing on getting things done. Sometimes the Five of Swords is a card where you second guess yourself, or you might be trying to let go of things. For this, I feel like it's homing in on what's the most important thing and then kind of letting everything else go and allowing for that to be your central focus. If you do that, great things can come through. And so just realize that you might have way too much on your plate this month. Simply do what you can, communicate what you can't, what's on your schedule that you can't do, and then just allow the pieces to fall as they will. It's interesting because sometimes we're sort of given this idea that we have to just work ourselves into exhaustion. That's not true. It's important to take care of yourself, to do good work, but not to push yourself to the point that your body is overwhelmed, that your mind is overwhelmed. You can see even this month, because I had some extenuating circumstances, I had to push my deadlines. You can always push deadlines. You have to speak up, you have to assert yourself, and you can do it in a kind and gentle way. So take a note from me, sometimes it's the right thing to do. Now, as we look at your hopes and fears, we have a beautiful card here that's showing that what I was saying earlier, your heart is going to be in a stronger place this month. We have the Lady of Vessels here, the Lady of Cups, Queen of Cups, and what this is really going to allow you to do is, if you're towards the end of the month feeling better, this is the time to engage again and to start to connect with friends, possibly if you're single, date, or if you're with a partner. You're going to feel more excited and passionate about revisiting that relationship. So I see you getting into a much lighter and brighter space towards the end of the month. Now, with all of that being said, I believe that this card in reverse is actually going to be a positive card. Ten of Swords upright is about what I call a binary, like an on or an off card. We have a few of these in tarot. Some of them are shades of gray. This one typically means that you're in a place where you could have avoided something. So this card is saying, don't be a martyr. It's what I was just talking about. If things are difficult, step up and say, and stand up for yourself, I should say, and simply put down boundaries that feel good. Come up with solutions to work around this so that it's not simply a no, it's a this won't work, but how about this? I believe if you are proactive, very firm in what's important for you to do this month, and you stand your ground, that good things will come of that. It's important to rest this month, so take time to get proper sleep, and if you're not feeling that you're rested, talk to your doctor. If you're feeling any sort of heaviness in your chest or anything that's going on with your cardiovascular or your lung system, then of course talk to your doctor as well. But I feel like some of this tightness could also have to do with stress if you're feeling that. But if there's a family history for anything, you should absolutely get that checked out. I feel that this has to much more to do about exhaustion and following your heart. And I've been gently leading you to that card so that you have the strength, you have the knowledge, you have the will to avoid the exhaustion or to avoid sacrificing yourself for others. Although it makes for a good book, and it's interesting that there's a book here, it's not necessarily what's advisable in life. So easy does it this month. If you follow all of the pieces of advice that the previous cards are giving and that I've given as well through the channeled and intuitive information that I'm bringing through, I feel like you're going to be okay. And the fact that the Ten of Swords is reversed means you're ready to step away from this sort of habit in your life. And that's really what April is about, is breaking habits and making better habits. So let's expand your forecast, and we'll begin with your health card. Let's see what is coming through for your mind, body, and spirit. Give it one more shuffle. Okay, and I'm going to take this top card here. What it says is, I find a deeper meaning and personal growth amid the discomfort. And what we see here is almost a full month of movement in getting happier, getting healthier, and getting stronger in your resolve. Just about every message I've brought through this month has been on a spiritual and a mental level when it comes to health. And you really can't separate your all three of those things. So this is your health this month. By finding what you care about, by giving yourself space and room to grow, that's how you're going to step away from this feeling of, I'm not happy, I'm not doing what I want, people don't understand me. Instead of saying that, you're going to be empowered and say, I understand what makes me tick. I know what I need to do. I'm going to take care of myself and work on personal growth. So that's your Eight of Pentacles. This is your Ten of Swords, the discomfort that you're moving away from. And the deeper meaning in your life, that's something that can only come when you take that quest that I've been talking about, that time away. And there's a lot of energy here that could be coming through your dreams, because we have all this nocturnal symbology here. This also has a connection with your second chakra, or at least some of the colors here are bringing me to that. So you want to make sure that when it comes to creativity, power, even sexual expression, that you're feeling fulfilled in all of these areas. The only thing that I would say with all of that is making sure that if there is any sort of dysfunction that's going on, for those of you that might not be able to, are feeling not inspired when it comes to intimacy, know that it's important for you to love yourself, to heal yourself first, because a lot of times a disinterest in that sort of side of your life, intimacy, comes through because you need to experience the love and you need to ask for what's important in your life. And that's what that gentle leadership card is really helping you do this month. So speak up for yourself, take care of yourself, rest. I think all of this is the most important, and I think everything else is then going to follow suit. As we look at your wealth card this month, this is going to show what's possible with money, with career, also with self-confidence, because I believe you can't separate self-worth and net worth. They are absolutely related. So we have the seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel. This is an angel I work with a lot. She's very gentle, and really, although angels don't have any sort of assigned gender per se, there's a very nurturing energy, and usually Uriel comes through as a maternal or feminine energy. And again, we're going to be focusing here on the seventh chakra, and the seventh chakra is everything intuitive. It's everything that's coming through from the divine. This is about following your intuition with business, with career, and knowing that it's never going to lead you astray. If you feel on a core soul level that something is good for you and you should go for it, you should. If you feel that someone at work is leading you down a path that you might regret, don't do it. Listen to that third eye, listen to your crown chakra. These are downloads from the universe, and especially the seventh chakra. That's all from your higher self and all from your guides and your angels. So know that you're being guided, supported, and led to a better path. Listen, because the universe speaks in whispers and thoughts. So if you have persistent thoughts, or if you just feel compelled to do something this month, and it's telling you in a very strong way to stand up for yourself or do something, listen to that. It's there to help you out, and you don't want to second guess that inspiration that's coming through for you. The other thing is, For those of you that might be in the creative arts, this is all about taking your ideas and making them something that you can share with the world, you can make money from, that will support you. So listen to your ideas. I feel like there's a lot of value in them, and for some of you there might be sort of this R&D component where you might come up with something patented and do something cool with it. Okay, so now let's take a look at love. I know everyone loves to see what's coming through with relationships, so let's see what the general advice is for you. So we have joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. And this is telling me that it's absolutely something that you can connect with, and supported, of course, by the Queen of Cups, which we saw here. The interesting thing with this Queen of Cups is it's a balancing act, and you actually see her making time for love. This card, when I pulled it, was reversed, and so I think one of the ways you can bring or call love into your life is through doing things that bring joy and happiness. It seems like it's a very simple concept, but sometimes when I have a one-on-one session with people and I pull cards like that, or I see some other cards that are just showing that there hasn't been a lot of fun, sometimes I look and I'm like, there isn't enough cups. What are you doing to connect to your heart space? And they're like, nothing, I just work and I go to sleep. So I want you to make sure that you're taking time to have fun. And I got a very sort of childlike energy when I was looking at the illustration here. And for me, an equivalent in tarot would be like the Six of Cups, because when I look at that card, I see it's an ephemeral or sometimes just a temporary joy, but it's amazing how doing one thing that just brings you this ephemeral feeling can still trickle through everything else in your life. And so I want you also to focus on not holding on to things. When we think of very, very young children, they can wildly go from being top of the world to being upset to focusing on something else. And while that's not great for 40-year-old or a 20-year-old, what is good to take from that is when you are in a moment where you feel either frustrated or low, know that it's just a moment, it's just a feeling, and it's just one situation. If you can take one thing from your childhood, bring back that ability to move to something different, to always know that you can survive the ups and the downs. And children have that great ability to just take one thing at a time and move on to the next. And so it's okay this month to kind of bring that part of your childhood into where you are now as an adult or young adult. All right, let's go ahead now and look at your, this is really the final card in the extended forecast. This is your GPS. I call it the Destiny card. It's something that is malleable. It's something that you can change if you're not happy with what you're seeing. Ultimately, what the Destiny card is showing is where you're headed and what you can do to maximize your outcome. So your Destiny card this month is the Three of Orbs. In this deck, that's swords, and it's reversed. But what I'm looking at with this particular card is a moment in time where you know exactly what you're going to do. I'm looking at the lightning in this card, and you know how they say lightning strikes only, usually doesn't strike twice in the same place. What I see this as is you're going to have a moment this month that opens up, and it's going to be a breakthrough for you. The Three of Swords in reverse is a chance to open your heart, to be happy, and to release stress. And so all of your swords cards are reversed this month, which is a good thing, because it's showing me moving away from that feeling of being too much in your head, holding on to too much energy. There's a release, and that's ultimately what that lightning is. And I think this is a great illustration for the Three of Swords. You rarely see something like that. It's always a focus on the heart center. So for you, I see that you're going to have this moment where you find your power, and it may be in that standing up for yourself. I'm not going to take this anymore. It may be in opening your heart and healing someone, saying, I love you, we haven't talked in a while, are you okay? Whatever it is, you're going to find your strength, and you're going to use the emotions that may have in the past gone to a lower frequency and bring them into a higher frequency. And for that reason, I'm really excited, and I think that you're headed on the right track. All right, let's go ahead and review everything that we've talked about so far. Your channeled information was to take time to say how you feel and express yourself to the ones around you that mean the most. And this can be, like I said, something where you are standing your own ground and saying something that's important, or just expressing love and offering support to someone. This one meeting, or however many you want to have, this is really going to have a profound impact on your life and the lives of the people around you. As we looked at your catalyst card, we have the Six of Swords. It came through reversed. This was about making sure that you're giving yourself time, you're separating yourself from all of this energy, all of the influences of the people around you. As we look at the cards and their placement, the center card was showing strength and outspokenness. And then as we navigate to the middle of the month, it's more of a gentle leadership. But you have leadership throughout the month that's available to you. And then we see the Seven of Cups, which is encouraging you to find your truth, really is what I'm seeing with this, and to not get mired down too much in your thought process. That's why we're seeing all of the swords reversed this month, because you need to step aside from that. Your emotional state is going to be much improved this month. I feel like you may be still carrying over some of the energy at the beginning of the month, but it quickly dissipates, especially if you take that time to really separate from everything this month. Work on something that you love to do this month, whether it's some sort of training, some sort of skill acquisition, or just investing in your own self, your betterment. Through doing that, you may meet someone, or you may find that this has an unexpected and an unexpectedly positive effect on your overall life. Remember to listen more than speaking as the month continues. Separate yourself as needed from your friend circle. Definitely separate yourself from any gossip or unnecessary chatter that's going on in your life. Focus instead on one task that means the most. Let the other things go. Know that you have the ability to welcome in love. Some of you may have a strong water sign that comes through as well. This can also just be an expression of yourself, of course. And as we look at the end of the month, we see that you can, in doing all of these things, avoid this sense of exhaustion. Open up your heart and realize that you matter. Take the time to rest. Don't overdo it this month. I feel like you can step away from an unnecessary cold or flu or illness. As we expand the forecast, this first card in health is really about finding stronger mental health and happiness. It says, I find a deeper meaning and personal growth and amid the discomfort. So what this is allowing you to do is to step away from what we see in that Ten of Swords card and really focus on self-development. As we look at wealth card, listen to your intuition. You're being guided, you're being supported. Call on Uriel if you need help. It's a very, very loving angel, and it can guide you as well. Have fun. Move in a way that allows you to let go of the pain in your life, to experience that ephemeral joy that we see with childhood, and know that it's never too late to have fun. It's never too late to go back to that sense of joy and irreverence. That's going to bring in more happiness for you. And we see this lightning bolt. There's going to be a moment this month where you're finally able to access all of your emotions, higher and lower, and use them to really create a radical shift in your life. And I think that's wonderful. So I'm really excited, Scorpio, by what I'm seeing for you. I think this is a strong month for you. And stay strong and embrace all of these things that are coming through. Mostly, I want you to feel the support in speaking your truth. That's what came through loud and clear at the beginning. All right, so I hope that this gave you the insight that you need to navigate this month. If you ever have something in your life that requires a little bit more guidance or a little bit more of my insight, feel free to reach out to me. The first link under the video will allow you to check my rates and availability, so if you feel guided to do so, that link is there for you. Likewise, if you enjoy what you're seeing and receiving on this channel from month to month, then you can absolutely support me as well if you'd like to. I have a donation link, and anything from $1 or up makes a big difference. It helps me buy the cards and cover the cost of production from month to month as well. I'd love for you to stay in touch with me. The third link will help you connect on all of my social networks. I have a newsletter. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and those are great ways to keep up with me over the course of the month. And I'm going to try to use Twitter a little bit more. If you have any sort of ideas that you want me to cover in my guided meditations, you can tweet those to me. On Instagram, I also post more than once a month, and you get a little flavor of what's going on in my life, so that's a great way to follow me as well. And Facebook is a great place where you can find out almost immediately when I post new things. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do that, because that's the #1 way that you'll know when new videos come out. Remember to click that bell icon as well. Now, finally, and most importantly, I like to end every reading with a sense of gratitude and appreciation for all of you. I wouldn't be here without you, and I really am inspired by what you're doing as well in your lives. I talked last month about how we're all kind of creating this chain of light around the world. And I want us to not only do that, but also to kind of stand as lighthouses, as beacons of hope for others. And so as you work on yourself, as you overcome some of your fears and challenges in your life, you'll become more able to support, to shine brightly for others, even if it's just being there in their life. Some of you may also decide to take a path and become a healer, a teacher, or somehow moving this energy forward. If that's your calling, great. Otherwise, just work on being a better person and know that this alone is going to make the planet brighter and lighter. And I couldn't ask for anything else, so I'm going to end on that note. Much love and light to you always. I'll see you soon. Thank you for being you. Bye.